delivery cart rattles the paving stone while you search for your mittens in the hall. We always claimed we would meet here alone before the gray street traffic starts to crawl. The corner baker just rolled up the metal grate and handed me 2 paper bags of rye. You always walk with that steady, stubborn gait. I saw you through the steamy window pane go by. Old friendship wears a faded wool sweater. We traded 40 years of work for these white cups. No sudden rain can make our footing wetter. The neon sign across the avenue flickers and ups. We kept the promises we made in 1963 while pouring boiling water down for you and me. Remember when we thought 70 was far away? Now the steam from the kettle hides the time of day. Sit down across from me and take a slow deep breath. We outlived every single promise made by youth and death. Toasted bacon dust floats from the vent while Arthur wipes down wood that has bent. He counts out his nickels in neat little rows and fixes the collar of his faded clothes. Old Martha walks in with her silver-tipped cane and shakes off the drops of the lingering rain. She nods to the counter where glass jars are lined and leaves all her worries outside far behind. Arthur pours water from heavy tin pots while Martha finds comfort in old polka dots. The radio hums through the static and snow, and quiet old neighbors have nowhere to go. The clock on the wall loses minutes each day, but nobody rushes the morning away. The second cup cools while they talk of the town, and sunshine comes softly to settle them down.
Fresh toasted hazelnut smoke drifts through the screen, while Mrs. Gable wipes down the grease-stained machine. She counts the silver spoons left in the silver tin, and waits to see which lonely regular walks in. An apron tied against 70 years of hard miles. She trades every deep wrinkle for simple, quiet smiles. The corner bell rings as the heavy oak door swings wide, and another old friend pulls a metal-legged stool aside. Old Arthur hangs his gray felt hat on the brass peg, then rubs the ache in his stiff wooden leg. He taps the counter twice to signal his request, because familiar routines always suit him best. An apron tied against 70 years of hard miles. She trades every deep wrinkle for simple, quiet smiles. The corner bell rings as the heavy oak door swings wide, and another old friend pulls a metal-legged stool aside. Steam rises thick from the chipped porcelain pot, filling the small room with everything they forgot. No words are needed when the weather turns so gray, just a hot cup of black brew to start the day. She leaves the 4 silver coins right where they lay, and locks the front door till tomorrow is today. A sudden query breaks the quiet room, where broom bristles sweep the polished floor. The baker moves across the porcelain gloom and turns the iron key inside the door. A nickel rolls across the wooden grain, while copper kettles hiss their steady tune. The frosted glass reflects the passing train beneath the crescent of a fading moon. Old Harold wipes the counter with a cloth and counts the pennies resting in the tray. A moth escapes the calendar cloth as yellow sunlight claims the alleyway. The radio plays a brassy, distant song from stations broadcasting across the state. A heavy by the gate. Old Harold wipes the counter with a cloth and counts the pennies resting in a tray. A moth escapes the calendar cloth as yellow sunlight claims the alleyway. The milkman leaves 2 bottles on the slate, then hurries down the concrete apartment stair. A neighbor checks his pocket watch for 8 and adjusts the collar of his coat with care. The copper kettles finally run dry as traffic gathers on the avenue. A single pigeon takes a heavy flight and leaves the empty morning street to you. Which way did the milkman turn when the streetlights died at 5? I sit alone with my ceramic mug and wonder if I survive. 50 years of pouring black brew into the self-same cup, watching the neighborhood slowly stumble and finally wake up. Old linoleum groans beneath my worn leather shoes today. Nobody asks about the promises we forgot how to say. Just the hum of the old refrigerator keeping time in the dark, and a cold gray pigeon leaving footprints on the park. Paper bag crinkles near the register where the bread is stacked. I trace a crack in the Formica like an old forgotten pact. Nobody sits in the corner booth where Martha used to knit, waiting for the world to slow down enough to notice it. I count the spoons in the jar by the window pane, listening close to the rhythm of an incoming train. Every gray hair is a ticket from a journey half complete, sitting right here on the quiet side of Maple Street. Drink the last drop before the morning bell begins to chime. There is nothing left to borrow from yesterday's time. Plastic stirrer rests beside my cup. Its bent red tip reflects the neon sign.
trace the circle where the steam went up, and wonder if the weather reads as mine. The floorboards groan beneath a heavy tread. The baker carries trays of apricot. I rehearse the quiet things I should have said to people who have long since left the spot. Old brass doorbells announce a stranger passing by, while burnt out filters gather in the metal bin. I fold the daily broadsheet till the edges dry, and count the quiet hours where the ghosts begin. 2 grains of crystal sugar catch the light, a tiny mound upon the Formica. I watch the neighborhood put out its light, and now I watch the trolley cars go far. Time moves slow when you have nowhere else to run, just staring at the pattern in the rubber mat. Before the midday traffic meets the summer sun, I pay the check and tip the yellow cat. I leave the crumpled napkin on the wooden chair, and pull my woolen collar to the frosty air. The butcher's delivery truck rattles over the brick, throwing a clatter right past our favorite chair. You always arrive with your coat buttoned crooked, and shake off the damp from the chill in the air. I saved you the corner where sunlight pools slowly, and ordered the toast with the berry preserve. You pull off your mittens and sigh at the steam now, and trace out a ring on the edge of the curve. We trade 40 years for a paper-wrapped cup, while trolley bells ring on the avenue line. Your laughter still sounds like the old radio plays that carried us safely through rain and decline. The waitress remembers the name that we answered back when we were foolish and brave in the street. Now both of our knees need a minute to settle, nothing behind us that needs to be mine. Dark cinnamon dust settles soft on the floor, while old Mr. Henderson unlocks the heavy glass door. He winds up the clock that has ticked for a town and turns the brass sign from the upside down. 3 regulars wait in the chill of the street. Their wool coats are buttoned against the pale sleet. They stamp their tired boots till the latch clicks apart and carry their routines right into the heart. Steam rises thick from the urn on the counter. The chatter gets loud as the crowd gets downtowner. A nickel is dropped on the saucer of white to pay for a moment of welcoming light. He wipes down the counter with flannel and grace and smiles at the strangers who know the same place. No clocks matter here while the coffee stays hot, and nobody asks what they haven't yet got. The daylight grows wide on the pale wooden floor as Henderson bolts back the welcoming door. Another tomorrow begins in the cup, and nobody rushes to tidy it up. Which way did the milkman turn when the pavement was still gray and the newsprint smelled of ink before the street lamps gave away? A blue apron hangs on the hook, a tin bell rings at the door. Old leather shoes cross the wood, leaving prints on the cedar floor. Steam rises off the porcelain cup while the radio hums a low tune. A sparrow lands on the metal chair underneath the tired white moon. Old coats smell of cedar and rain, waiting for the toaster to pop. The barista counts nickels in cans while the traffic signal stays dropped, sipping bitter black drops from a mug. as the clock hands begin their slow climb. 4 squares of sunlight creep in across the checkerboard tiles, where the crossword puzzle remains unfinished for miles and miles. Time moves at the pace of a spoon, stirring cream in a heavy glass bowl. No hurry to answer the bell, just warming the chill in the soul. The steam finally fades from the rim, and the paper is read to the end. Another quiet day starts right here, with a stranger who feels like a friend. A bent brass paper clip holds my receipt. The corner table is warm to my feet. Outside the glass, the bakery bell rings out a story I know all too well. I count the minutes before the crowd starts to fill the silence with talk of bruised hearts. Old coats hang heavy upon the brass rail, while copper kettles let out a long wail. Nobody asks why I sit by the pane, watching the buses collect heavy rain. The waitress recognizes my gray wool coat. She leaves a paper napkin with a written note. It says, "The sugar is fresh in the pot." Whether I wanted the refill or not, decades slip past like the wheels on the street, leaving small memories tucked in the seat. I fold the napkin and pocket the change. Nothing is broken, and nothing feels strange. Rough flannel presses hard against my wrist, a winter habit worn before the frost. I fold the sleeves the way you taught me to, before the ledger and the key. keys were lost. The little corner bell begins to ring, just like it did in 1953. I reach to set a cup for two, then catch myself and pour it just for me. Old porcelain holds the heat of yesterday, when streets were quiet and we chose to stay. A nickel dropped into the wooden slot reminds me of the warmth we nearly forgot. 2 lumps of sugar sitting in the white, dissolving slowly in the heavy steam. The radio is playing strings from home. We used to dance right through this very dream. Your apron hung upon that self-same nail before the neighborhood began to fade. I touched the grain of Formica and smile, forgetting for a second it is now. We built this little counter brick by brick, with tired hands and youth we didn't count. The steam clears slowly from the window pane and leaves me sitting with my cup again. I fold the flannel tight against my chest and thank the quiet room for all the rest. The train, old names we drop like pebbles in a deep and quiet well. What happened to the corner shop where penny candy fell? You hand me down a folded map with ink that starts to fade. We measure out the distance of the promises we made. The waitress brings another cup and sets it on the mat. We never thought we would be talking round a place like that. You wear a silver ring that has a scratch across the stone, and I confess I sometimes hate to sit at home alone. Decades pass like wagons rolling down a muddy street. Before we know the ending, time has claimed our tired feet. The clock above the pastry case has stopped at 1/4. I'm glad we found a stranger who remembers things at last. Why does the sparrow always peck the same green tile, while the porter sweeps the sawdust down the aisle. The nickel clock is ticking, 4 minutes slow, and nobody has asked me where I plan to go. Ceramic cups are rattling in a silver rack, a heavy wool coat hanging on a crooked tack. Butter melts across the corner of a heavy slate, while the driver leaves a parcel by the garden gate. A folded wrapper crinkles underneath a heavy hand, and nobody remembers how the music was planned. Old flannel shirts are warming near the cast iron stove, while the baker checks the bread he always loved. The steam is rising slowly past the window pane, and no one at the counter talks about the rain. A sugar cube dissolves inside a heavy mug, while the floorboard settles softly on a wool rug. Butter melts across the corner of a heavy slate, while the driver leaves a parcel by the garden gate. A folded wrapper crinkles underneath a heavy hand, and nobody remembers how the music was planned. The copper kettle whistles through a narrow spout, and every little question that I kept is out. The shadows stretch across the wooden floor as someone softly turns the heavy brass door. Butter melts across the corner of a heavy slate, while the driver leaves a parcel by the garden gate. A folded wrapper crinkles underneath a heavy hand, and nobody remembers how the music was planned. Leave the bread knife resting softly on the wood, just like we always knew that we really should. The morning paper folds and the lights go down in the quietest corner of this sleepy town.
The weight of the chair tells me how long I sat, counting the grooves in the red vinyl mat. Younger me, rushing with ink on your sleeve, thinking you had all the answers to leave.
You ordered black coffee and stared at the door, worrying holes starts to run. You do not need to outrun the slow sun. Slow down your breathing and finish the toast. Nobody cares about what you love most.
Look at your hands, they are steady and bare, free from the load that you thought you must bear.
I know you are scared of the bills on the desk, making your boldest ambitions grotesque.
Put down the ledger,
stop pacing the room. Springtime will find you without any gloom. Listen close, kid, because time starts to run. You do not need to outrun the slow sun. Slow down your breathing and finish the toast. Nobody cares about what you love most.
20 years older, I'm sitting right here,
Learning to quiet the phantom-built fear.
drinking the same bitter brew from the cup,
Wishing that you had known how to look up. Pay for your pastry and walk out the gate. Nothing is broken and nothing is late. Leave the old coat on the hook by the door. You will not need to pretend anymore. Peach-colored light settles on the salt shaker, tracing the small ring left by yesterday's cup. You asked if the rain reached the far south acre. I looked at my shoes and I slowly looked up. Two ceramic mugs hold a dark, bitter brew. The steam rises slow between your seat and mine. Neither of us planned to sit talking here too, watching the traffic lights shift into line. Stranger in a woolen coat, share the heavy news. Tell me why the baker locked his door at 2. We have half an hour before the whistle blows, where the river bends and where the ferry goes. Your leather gloves rest on the scarred table wood, frayed at the thumb where the needle went through. I said that the winter here never stays good. You nodded your head like you always knew. Stranger in a woolen coat, share the heavy news. Tell me why the baker waitress brings toast on a chip china plate. We don't share a name and we don't fix a date. Just two quiet people caught out in the chill, sharing a moment the morning leaves still. Drink down your coffee and pull up your collar. The streetcar is coming around the red pillar. I will remember the coat and the weather. Two strangers who sat in the morning together. Copper delivery cart rattles the paving stone while you search for your mittens in the hall. We always claimed we would meet here alone before the gray street traffic starts to crawl. The corner baker just rolled up the metal grate and handed me 2 paper bags of rye. You always walk with that steady, stubborn gait. I saw you through the steamy window pane go by. Old friendship wears a faded wool sweater. We traded 40 years of work for these white cups. No sudden rain can make our footing wetter. The neon sign across the avenue flickers and ups. We kept the promises we made in 1963 while pouring boiling water down for you and me. Remember when we thought 70 was far away? Now the steam from the kettle hides the time of day. Sit down across from me and take a slow deep breath. We outlived every single promise made by youth and death. Toasted bacon dust floats from the vent while Arthur wipes down wood that has bent. He counts out his nickels in neat little rows and fixes the collar of his faded clothes. Old Martha walks in with her silver-tipped cane and shakes off the drops of the lingering rain. She nods to the counter where glass jars are lined and leaves all her worries outside far behind.
Fresh toasted hazelnut smoke drifts through the screen, while Mrs. Gable wipes down the grease-stained machine. She counts the silver spoons left in the silver tin, and waits to see which lonely regular walks in. An apron tied against 70 years of hard miles. She trades every deep wrinkle for simple, quiet smiles. The corner bell rings as the heavy oak door swings wide, and another old friend pulls a metal-legged stool aside. Old Arthur hangs his gray felt hat on the brass peg, then rubs the ache in his stiff wooden leg. He taps the counter twice to signal his request, because familiar routines always suit him best. An apron tied against 70 years of hard miles. She trades every deep wrinkle for simple, quiet smiles. The corner bell rings as the heavy oak door swings wide, and another old friend pulls a metal-legged stool aside. Steam rises thick from the chipped porcelain pot, filling the small room with everything they forgot. No words are needed when the weather turns so gray, just a hot cup of black brew to start the day. She leaves the 4 silver coins right where they lay, and locks the front door till tomorrow is today. A sudden query breaks the quiet room, where broom bristles sweep the polished floor. The baker moves across the porcelain gloom and turns the iron key inside the door. A nickel rolls across the wooden grain, while copper kettles hiss their steady tune. The frosted glass reflects the passing train beneath the crescent of a fading moon. Old Harold wipes the counter with the cloth and counts the pennies resting in the tray. A moth escapes the calendar cloth as yellow sunlight claims the alleyway. The radio plays a brassy, distant song from stations broadcasting across the state. A
heavy woolen coat is hung up wrong beside the brass umbrella by the gate. Old Harold wipes the counter with a cloth and counts the pennies resting in a tray. A moth escapes the calendar cloth as yellow sunlight claims the alleyway. The milkman leaves 2 bottles on the slate, then hurries down the concrete apartment stair. A neighbor checks his pocket watch for 8 and adjusts the collar of his coat with care. The copper kettles finally run dry as traffic gathers on the avenue. A single pigeon takes a heavy flight and leaves the empty morning street to you. Which way did the milkman turn when the street lights died at 5? I sit alone with my ceramic mug and wonder if I survive 50 years of pouring black brew into the self-same cup, watching the neighborhood slowly stumble and finally wake up. Old linoleum groans beneath my worn leather shoes today. Nobody asks about the promises we forgot how to say. Just the hum of the old refrigerator keeping time in the dark, and a cold gray pigeon leaving footprints on the park. Paper bag crinkles near the register where the bread is stacked. I trace a crack in the Formica like an old forgotten pact. Nobody sits in the corner booth where Martha used to knit, waiting for the world to slow down enough to notice it. I count the spoons in the jar by the window pane, listening close to the rhythm of an incoming train. Every gray hair is a ticket from a journey half complete, sitting right here on the quiet side of Maple Street. Drink the last drop before the morning bell begins to chime. There is nothing left to borrow from yesterday's time. A warped plastic stirrer rests beside my cup. Its bent red tip reflects the neon sign. I trace the circle where the steam went up, and wonder if the weather reads as mine. The floorboards groan beneath a heavy tread. The baker carries trays of apricot. I rehearse the quiet things I should have said to people who have long since left the spot. Old brass doorbells announce a stranger passing by, while burned out filters gather in the metal bin. I fold the daily broadsheet till the edges dry, and count the quiet hours where the ghosts begin. 2 grains of crystal sugar catch the light, a tiny mound upon the Formica. I watch the neighborhood put out its light, and now I watch the trolley cars go far. Time moves slow when you have nowhere else to run, just staring at the pattern in the rubber mat. Before the midday traffic meets the summer sun, I pay the check and tip the yellow cat. I leave the crumpled napkin on the wooden chair, and pull my woolen collar to the frosty air. The butcher's delivery truck rattles over the brick, throwing a clatter right past our favorite chair. You always arrive with your coat buttoned crooked, and shake off the damp from the chill in the air. I saved you the corner where sunlight pools slowly, and ordered the toast with the berry preserve. You pull off your mittens and sigh at the steam now, and trace out a ring on the edge of the curve. We trade 40 years for a paper-wrapped cup, while trolley bells ring on the avenue line. Your laughter still sounds like the old radio plays that carried us safely through rain and decline. The waitress remembers the name that we answered back when we were foolish and brave in the street. Now both of our knees to be mine.
Dark cinnamon dust settles soft on the floor, while old Mr. Henderson unlocks the heavy glass door. He winds up the clock that has ticked for a town and turns the brass sign from the upside down. 3 regulars wait in the chill of the street. Their wool coats are buttoned against the pale sleet. They stamp their tired boots till the latch clicks apart and carry their routines right into the heart. Steam rises thick from the urn on the counter. The chatter gets loud as the crowd gets downtowner. A nickel is dropped on the saucer of white to pay for a moment of welcoming light. He wipes down the counter with flannel and grace and smiles at the strangers who know the same place. No clocks matter here while the coffee stays hot, and nobody asks what they haven't yet got. The daylight grows wide on the pale wooden floor as Henderson bolts back the welcoming door. Another tomorrow begins in the cup, and nobody rushes to tidy it up. Which way did the milkman turn when the pavement was still gray and the newsprint smelled of ink before the street lamps gave away? A blue apron hangs on the hook, a tin bell rings at the door. Old leather shoes cross the wood, leaving prints on the cedar floor. Steam rises off the porcelain cup while the radio hums a low tune. A sparrow lands on the metal chair underneath the tired white moon. Old coats smell of cedar and rain, waiting for the toaster to pop. The barista counts nickels in cans while the traffic signal stays dropped, sipping bitter black drops from a mug as the clock hands begin their slow climb.
4 squares of sunlight creep in across the checkerboard tiles, where the crossword puzzle remains unfinished for miles and miles. Time moves at the pace of a spoon, stirring cream in a heavy glass bowl. No hurry to answer the bell, just warming the chill in the soul. The steam finally fades from the rim, and the paper is read to the end. Another quiet day starts right here, with a stranger who feels like a friend. A bent brass paper clip holds my receipt. The corner table is warm to my feet. Outside the glass, the bakery bell rings out a story I know all too well. I count the minutes before the crowd starts to fill the silence with talk of bruised hearts. Old coats hang heavy upon the brass rail, while copper kettles let out a long wail. Nobody asks why I sit by the pane, watching the buses collect heavy rain. The waitress recognizes my gray wool coat. She leaves a paper napkin with a written note. It says the sugar is fresh in the pot. Whether I wanted the refill or not, decades slip past like the wheels on the street, leaving small memories tucked in the seat. I fold the napkin and pocket the change. Nothing is broken, and nothing feels strange. Rough flannel presses hard against my wrist, a winter habit worn before the frost. I fold the sleeves the way you taught me to, before the ledger and the keys were lost. The little corner bell begins to ring, just like it did in 1953. I reach to set a cup for two, then catch myself and pour it just for me. Old porcelain holds the heat of yesterday, when streets were quiet and we chose to stay. A nickel dropped into the wooden slot reminds me of the warmth we nearly forgot. 2 lumps of sugar sitting in the white, dissolving slowly in the heavy steam. The radio is playing strings from home. We used to dance right through this very dream. Your apron hung upon that self-same nail before the neighborhood began to fade. I touched the grain of Formica and smile, forgetting for a second it is now. We built this little counter brick by brick, with tired hands and youth we didn't count. The steam clears slowly from the window pane and leaves me sitting with my cup again. I fold the flannel tight against my chest and thank the quiet room for all the rest. The train, old names we drop like pebbles in a deep and quiet well. What happened to the corner shop where penny candy fell? You hand me down a folded map with ink that starts to fade. We measure out the distance of the promises we made. The waitress brings another cup and sets it on the mat. We never thought we would be talking round a place like that. You wear a silver ring that has a scratch across the stone, and I confess I sometimes hate to sit at home alone. Decades pass like wagons rolling down a muddy street. Before we know the ending, time has claimed our tired feet. The clock above the pastry case has stopped at 1/4 I'm glad we found a stranger who remembers things at last. The same green tile, while the porter sweeps the sawdust down the aisle. mechanical clock is ticking 4 minutes slow, and nobody has asked me where I plan to go. Ceramic cups are rattling in a silver rack, a heavy wool coat hanging on a crooked tack. Butter melts across the corner of a heavy slate, while the driver leaves a parcel by the garden gate. A folded wrapper crinkles underneath a heavy hand, and nobody remembers how the music was planned. Old flannel shirts are warming near the cast iron stove, while the baker checks the bread he always loved. The steam is rising slowly past the window pane, and no one at the counter talks about the rain. A sugar cube dissolves inside a heavy mug, while the floorboard settles softly on a wool rug. Butter melts across the corner of a heavy slate, while the driver leaves a parcel by the garden gate. A folded wrapper crinkles underneath a heavy hand, and nobody remembers how the music was planned. The copper kettle whistles through a narrow spout, and every little question that I kept is out. The shadows stretch across the wooden floor as someone softly turns the heavy brass door. Butter melts across the corner of a heavy slate, while the driver leaves a parcel by the garden gate. A folded wrapper crinkles underneath a heavy hand, and nobody remembers how the music was planned. Leave the bread knife resting softly on the wood, just like we always knew that we really should. The morning paper folds and the lights go down in the quietest corner of this sleepy town.
The weight of the chair tells me how long I sat, counting the grooves in the red vinyl mat. Younger me, rushing with ink on your sleeve, thinking you had all the answers to leave.
You ordered black coffee and stared at the door, worrying holes in the scuffed maple floor. Listen close, kid, because time starts to run. You do not need to outrun the slow sun. Slow down your breathing and finish the toast. Nobody cares about what you love most.
Look at your hands, they are steady and bare, free from the load that you thought you must bear.
I know you are scared of the bills on the desk, making your boldest ambitions grotesque.
Put down the ledger,
stop pacing the room. Springtime will find you without any gloom. Listen close, kid, because time starts to run. You do not need to outrun the slow sun. Slow down your breathing and finish the toast. Nobody cares about what you love most.
20 years older, I'm sitting right here,
Learning to quiet the phantom-built fear.
drinking the same bitter brew from the cup,
Wishing that you had known how to look up. Pay for your pastry and walk out the gate. Nothing is broken and nothing is late. Leave the old coat on the hook by the door. You will not need to pretend anymore. Peach-colored light settles on the salt shaker, tracing the small ring left by yesterday's cup. You asked if the rain reached the far south acre. I looked at my shoes and I slowly looked up. Two ceramic mugs hold a dark, bitter brew. The steam rises slow between your seat and mine. Neither of us planned to sit talking here too, watching the traffic lights shift into line. Stranger in a woolen coat, share the heavy news. Tell me why the baker locked his door at 2. We have half an hour before the whistle blows, where the river bends and where the ferry goes. Your leather gloves rest on the scarred table wood, frayed at the thumb where the needle went through. I said that the winter here never stays good. You nodded your head like you always knew. Stranger in a woolen coat, share the heavy news. Tell me why the baker locked his door at 2. Two strangers who sat in the morning together.